And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Johnson on the counter. And some room to work. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd and 7, Murray. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
They had a good chance to get the first points of the game on the board, but what a great job defensively, getting a hand in there, knocking it away, and preventing that first touchdown.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 4th down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Check tight, check tight.
On 2nd down, Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
And come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play, but it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it, and 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
Let's go, fellas.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, Johnson. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, a run for Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Murray. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Now, this is a feeling I can relate to all too well. Deflation on 3rd and short. Excellent coverage. Took away all the short routes, but the one person who wasn't accounted for, the quarterback. And he used his legs to hot-foot it for a first down.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Murray stepping up. He's going to keep it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 77 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
Okay, the highlights are going to show the guy throwing it, the guy catching it, and ended up in the end zone. But how about those big guys up front that allowed that to happen? He had a ton of time to throw the ball.
He did. There's two sides to that coin, though. The O-line was great, D-line not very good.
And as well as coverage, because now you're really stuck in a bad spot. That much time to throw the ball, someone usually comes free.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd and a yard, Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. The busy night continues for Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
43. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 2nd and 1, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Cousins looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 13-yard line.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Cousins. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
He's scared.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, Murray. And he finds Fitzgerald. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Murray now on first down. That's complete to Butler. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Cook. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the slant.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He completes it to Treadwell. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Working out of the gun, Cousins. The throw complete to Beebe. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 22-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Cousins again. And this is Cook with a grab. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
Nice hit, boy.
Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. Happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
From the 29, Murray. This complete to the tight end, Clay. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watch the pass.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of the offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
40 to high. Exit.
Play fake. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line.
Let's go.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
40 high. 180. Check, 43. I got you.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Murray being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Play action now. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On 1st down, it's Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Oh, boy,
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Murray now to throw. And an alley to run. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open, so it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Murray now on 1st down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. Murray now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And that is incomplete here.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
And the rookie's going to learn as he goes. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was a type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Murray going to throw. Open man, Butler complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. An 11-yard touchdown. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Cousins now. Complete. Smith has it.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Don't get nervous.
On play action, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Peters slipping in and getting the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
49, check 49, check 49.
Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
6-man. Check cross.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that time.
Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.